She was the queen of pop, the woman who seemed untouchable, ageless, unstoppable. But in 2023, Madonna's glittering empire nearly collapsed overnight. Behind the flashing lights and sold-out arenas, she faced a terrifying infection that left her fighting for her life. At 64, she finally admitted the devastating truth. Fame gave her everything, and it almost cost her everything too. What does it really mean to pay the price of being Madonna? Madonna Louise Ciccone grew up in Bay City, Michigan, before moving to New York City in 1978 with just $35 in her pocket and a dream of making it big. She hustled her way through dance classes, club performances, and the rough realities of the city, eventually landing her first record deal in 1982. Within 2 years, her breakout hits Holiday and Like a Virgin catapulted her to superstardom. From the very beginning, Madonna pushed herself beyond limits. She didn't just want to sing, she wanted to redefine what a female artist could be. Her concerts weren't just shows, they were provocative spectacles. Her albums weren't just records, they were cultural moments. With every reinvention, from Like a Prayer to Ray of Light, she became more than a pop star. She became a symbol of female empowerment, sexual freedom, and artistic daring. But behind the ambition was a relentless perfectionist. Band members, dancers, and producers have often said that Madonna demanded everything, not just from others, but from herself. This drive fueled her empire, but it also carried a heavy cost. Years of grueling tours, strict fitness regimens, and the constant pressure to stay on top began to wear on her health. By the time she entered her 60s, Madonna had already survived scandals, criticism, and reinvention after reinvention. Yet her biggest challenge was still to come. In June 2023, fans around the world were shocked when news broke that Madonna had been rushed to intensive care. She had developed a severe bacterial infection that became life-threatening. Her manager, Guy Osieri, confirmed she had spent days in the ICU. For the first time, the woman who had built her image on strength and resilience seemed fragile, human, and vulnerable. Madonna later admitted the ordeal shook her to her core. She described waking up and realizing she could have died, saying it forced her to reflect on how precious life is. For someone who had built her career on pushing boundaries and testing limits, the experience was sobering. The health scare also revealed the grueling pace she had kept up even in her 60s. She was in the middle of preparing for her massive celebration tour, rehearsing long hours every day. Friends and family later revealed that her perfectionism and refusal to slow down may have left her body too exhausted to fight back when illness struck. Fans flooded social media with messages of support, and her sudden vulnerability made headlines worldwide. For the first time, people saw Madonna not as the untouchable pop goddess, but as a woman who had paid dearly for her fame and relentless ambition. To understand how Madonna reached that breaking point in 2023, you have to look back at the demands she faced throughout her career. From the start, Madonna treated her body as part of her art. Her tours were physical marathons. Dancers have said they could barely keep up, even though Madonna was often twice their age. Rehearsals lasted for months, with every detail, from choreography to lighting cues, scrutinized by her. But it wasn't just the performances. Fame meant scrutiny. Every haircut, every outfit, every relationship became tabloid fodder. In the 1980s, she was condemned by religious groups for Like a Prayer. In the 1990s, she was mocked for Sex, her daring coffee table book. Even in the 2000s and 2010s, critics called her too old to still be pushing boundaries on stage. Madonna herself admitted in interviews that these criticisms hurt, but they also fueled her. "If I listened to everyone who told me I couldn't do something, I wouldn't be here," she once said. That defiance kept her on top, but it also meant she never slowed down, never allowed herself to step back from the pressure cooker of fame. By her 60s, she had endured hip and knee injuries, chronic pain, and several surgeries. Still, she pushed forward. She refused to be seen as fragile, determined to show the world that age could not define her. But as her 2023 health crisis revealed, her body was reaching its limit. What made Madonna's struggle so shocking was that even as her health deteriorated, she refused to stop. After her hospitalization in 2023, doctors and family urged her to cancel the celebration tour. Instead, she postponed it only briefly and insisted on returning to the stage. Her explanation was simple: performing is who she is. "My first thought when I woke up in the hospital was my children. My second thought was my fans," she said in a statement. For Madonna, the show has always been more than entertainment. It's her identity, her connection to the world, and the reason she keeps fighting. But this relentless commitment escalated concerns. Friends worried she was sacrificing her long-term health for the sake of her career. Critics began asking whether the price of being Madonna had become too high. Even fans, while overjoyed to see her back, expressed fear that her drive to perform could push her body past the point of recovery. The story of Madonna's near-death experience wasn't just about one illness. It was the culmination of decades of unrelenting pressure, self-discipline, and the unforgiving demands of global fame. And as the world watched her return, one question lingered: how much longer could she continue paying this price? Madonna's health scare in 2023 shocked not only her fans, but the entire music industry. For decades, she had been a symbol of resilience, someone who always seemed untouchable, even as she reinvented herself time and again. Suddenly, the illusion cracked. Headlines across the world ran with phrases like "Madonna fights for her life" and "Pop Queen in ICU." The reaction from fans was immediate and emotional. Social media lit up with prayers, tributes, and stories of how her music had changed people's lives. Younger fans discovered her legacy through the news, while older fans expressed heartbreak at seeing their idol in such a vulnerable state. Concert venues that were scheduled for her celebration tour even held vigils, with fans gathering outside to sing her songs. But the public reaction was mixed when she announced her return to the stage. Some celebrated her defiance, calling her a warrior who refused to let age or illness silence her. Others worried it was reckless, that she was endangering herself by pushing so hard. Even longtime collaborators admitted they were torn, proud of her strength, but afraid for her health. After her recovery, Madonna reflected on what the ordeal had taught her. In interviews, she admitted the experience forced her to face mortality in a way she never had before. "Love from family and friends is the best medicine," she wrote on Instagram, acknowledging how much the support of others carried her through. She also confessed that the near-death scare changed her perspective on life. While she still refuses to stop performing, she's been more open about balancing her health with her art. She credits her children with keeping her grounded, reminding her that she is more than just the pop star the world sees. Yet, true to form, Madonna hasn't slowed down. She resumed her celebration tour later in 2023, performing with the same intensity that defined her early career. Her message to fans was clear: yes, fame has a price, but for her, the joy of creating and connecting with millions is worth paying it. The aftermath of her struggle has only deepened her legacy. Far from weakening her image, her honesty about vulnerability has made her story even more powerful. She is no longer just the untouchable icon in the spotlight. She is a survivor, someone who has faced the darkest moments and chosen to keep shining. Thanks for watching. Click here to check another video and make sure to subscribe to our channel.